What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. As you can tell by the title of the video, today we are doing a Q&A. I feel like it's been a while since I've done one of these. So on my Instagram, I left a picture and I asked you guys to leave me a bunch of questions. So let's just jump into it. Question number one is, what is your best advice for someone just starting out with a large amount of weight to lose? When you have a large amount of weight to lose, I think it's important to realize that you don't need to be perfect when you first start. A lot of people get so caught up in, I've said this before, but letting perfection get in the way of good enough. So feeling like you need to have the perfect diet plan and be perfect right at the start, when in reality, like when I first started losing weight and when I lost my first 50, 60 pounds, I was just cutting out super simple stuff like soda, chips, and just like junk food and fast food. And that stuff really did, help me lose the first 60 pounds. So really don't worry about being perfect and just, try to be good enough. Try to cut out things that aren't healthy in your diet and then just go from there. How do you deal with the hate that you've been getting recently? Now, I'll be the first to say that I've definitely noticed there's obviously more dislikes on the videos and more negative comments down in the comment section down below. And I think for me, what's the most disheartening part about that is I really have always wanted the comment section down below to be a good place for people to ask questions and for there to be conversation down there. And recently, it's definitely become more of a place for people to kind of criticize me, which is fine. Criticism is great. That's how you grow, right? But it's gotten to a point where it's like people criticizing me and then you guys that support me trying to kind of defend me, which I appreciate, but at the same time, when it comes to negative comments, what I try to do is just never respond to them. Now, if it's comments that are constructive criticism where people are trying to help me out, then I don't see anything wrong with, having that down there. One of the main forms of criticism that I've seen down in the comment section is people saying that I'm clickbaiting videos. Now, I don't necessarily 100% agree with that. I personally feel like clickbait is titling the video something that has nothing to do with what's actually inside the video and just making people click on it and literally like there's no instance or anything at all related to what the title of the video says it's about. Now, what I do and what I'm trying not to do anymore and what I've decided I don't really want to do anymore is having really vague titles and titles that maybe make people want to click on the video but they don't really know what's going on. And it's not like I don't want it to seem like I'm changing because of what, my haters are saying. Because personally for me, like I've seen some really good, arguments and just criticisms on me on why that might not be the best way moving forward. So I've decided that I kind of want to maybe switch up how I'm titling my videos. And again, like if that helps with other people maybe not respecting my videos or not enjoying the videos as much, that's great. Because again, like I said, I make these videos and I absolutely love making these videos and I want people to enjoy the videos as much as I enjoy making them. So if that helps, then that's always going to be good. But going back to the question, when it comes to just straight hate and when people are just saying really hateful things, the thing that I've actually been working on a lot recently myself is understanding that what people think about you, what everyone says about you, it really doesn't affect you unless you let it affect you. And it's one of those things that I can't control what somebody thinks about me, I can't control what somebody says about me, but I can control how I react to that. So I've been working very hard, and I'm not perfect at all, but I've been working really hard on just reacting in a positive way, just being like, that's what they think, that's fine, that doesn't need to affect my day at all. What motivates you to get stronger with your new plan for squats or anything? Like, what is the reason you want to do that? So the reason that I want to get stronger and I have all of those goals is because I personally feel like, for me, like the way to move forward and the way to progress is to have more different goals, right? So for me right now, getting stronger is a huge goal for me. So I'm not always focused on how many calories I'm eating. I'm not always focused on not gaining the weight back, right? I have other goals. I'm focused on getting stronger, on getting faster. So that's why I really love having different types of goals, because it makes it so I'm not always focused on, being scared about gaining the weight back. And on top of that, honestly, I just genuinely love training and love working out. So it's one of those things that I feel like it'd be weird not to have goals with that. You know what I mean? Are you single? Yes, I am. How has CrossFit changed your view of fitness, and what is your favorite thing about CrossFit? Huge motivation to me. Thank you very much. I would say the biggest thing that CrossFit changed for me as far as my view of fitness is concerned is just realizing that fitness really doesn't have that much to do with how aesthetic you look or how your body looks. Now, coming from just straight bodybuilding, right? That's what I was doing before I ever did CrossFit. Like my first introduction to really working out, because again, like when I started losing weight, I wasn't doing any working out. And then my first ever style of training was bodybuilding. That's what I did up until I did my show. I mean, I still do bodybuilding, right? But in my head, it was like fitness was all about how you look. and how aesthetic you are and how low body fat you can get, right? Like in my head, it was like the more fit you are means the lower your body fat is. And now CrossFit for me has just shown me that fitness is all about like, what can you do with your body, right? Like how much can you lift? How fast can you run? How far can you jump? Like there's so many other elements to fitness than how you look. So that has to be the biggest change that CrossFit has, given me as far as fitness is concerned. And my favorite part about CrossFit is honestly just learning new skills all the time. Like there's always something that I can learn. There's always something that I can get better on. So for me, like I love being able to chase a goal, and the fact that there's so many things for me to chase in CrossFit, like there's always something for me to strive for, and that is just a lot of fun. Since you love dogs so much, who doesn't love dogs, am I right? Do you plan on getting one anytime soon? That is obviously a really good question. I get a lot of people asking me like, why don't you have a dog? You say you love dogs so much and you don't have one. Well, actually where I live right now, we're not allowed to have any animals. Now I feel like if I did move to like a house or anything like that, I would probably eventually get a dog. My favorite dogs on the planet is French bulldogs, so that's probably what I would get. But like especially with as much as I've been traveling and how much I plan on traveling next year, I'm not sure I just don't think it's fair for me to really get a dog and then kind of like shovel that dog off on people when I'm leaving, and just I don't think that I'm really in the best place right now to have a dog. Now, is that sad for me to say? Yes, absolutely, because I would, like I said, I would absolutely love a dog, but again, I can't have them where I live, so I need to get in that right place in my life where having a dog is fair for me and for the dog. I know you've talked about meeting girls and dating, but friendships, how have your friendships changed? Do you tell people about your weight loss when you befriend them, and if so, at what point? I always keep mine a secret because I'm not sure if people will think I'm bragging or something. That is actually a really good question. As far as how like my friendships has changed, nothing really has changed that much. I have a lot more friends from the gym now just because I spend so much time there. And then as far as like when I meet new people and stuff, like it's not something that I bring up really at all. Usually it kind of just gets brought up in other conversation because again, like my job now, right? I make YouTube videos and YouTube videos about weight loss and about fitness. So when people end up asking, pretty much when you meet someone new, they ask you, what do you do? And then I say, I make videos on YouTube. What about? And then I say, I'm making about fitness and weight loss. Oh, why do you do that? And then it kind of just gets brought up for me naturally. I understand that that's going to be a little bit different for other people, but I don't know. I've never thought of myself as like bragging about my weight loss, because for me, it's just a huge part of my life. So I don't know. I've never felt like I was being like annoying or bragging when I'm talking about it. But maybe other people think that way. I don't know. I've never had anyone say like, okay, we've heard it a million times, but yeah, that's kind of how it gets brought up in regular conversation. Okay, this one has a few questions, so it's gonna be rapid fire. 1, your favorite TV show? Stranger Things. 2, DC or Marvel? DC. My favorite superhero on the planet is Green Lantern. And then 3, would you give up going to the gym if you got $10 billion instantly? Now that's a really hard question, because if you say, I said this was rapid fire, but I started thinking, if you say going to the gym, like could I still work out outside? Could I, make my own gym? Like what gym is it that we're going to? But if you mean like, would you give up working out and just fitness at all? I wouldn't be able to do that. Like I don't think, even with all the money in the world, like I would feel like I don't really have much to do. Like I just love it so much. So, I mean, $10 billion is a lot of money. So I don't know, if the money was right in front of me, I guess it would be a little bit different, but my gut reaction, my knee-jerk reaction is to say no. I absolutely love fitness. With YouTube's Adpocalypse cutting so many creators' revenue, were you deeply affected, and do you plan to venture out into any new avenues like meal plans, trainings, podcasts, etc.? For those of you that might not be familiar with that word, Adpocalypse, basically a few months ago on YouTube, there was a lot of stuff going on with the advertisers not wanting to put ads on videos, and then YouTube basically starting to demonetize a lot of videos, so basically make it to where you can't make money on your video for certain content. And then it just started getting crazy. A lot of people started getting flagged for stuff that they shouldn't have been flagged for. I will say that a lot of my videos that got flagged were videos that when I talked about binge eating, like if there was binge eating in the title, that one just completely, they took all the money away from that. If I at all talked about loose skin, a lot of those videos kind of got demonetized. But I will say personally, like it wasn't super crazy for me. I think just personally because my videos are pretty family friendly, and it's not like I do that on purpose, but I don't know, I guess I'm a family friendly person, but like, health and weight loss, it's not very edgy, right? So they're not really afraid to put ads on the video. So I wasn't really deeply affected. You know, when it was going on for everybody, I was definitely feeling that, but it's not been something super crazy for me, not something that I wasn't able to, you know, recover from. And then as far as venturing out, yes, there's like, I want to do nutrition plans. I definitely want to do a podcast. I think that would be a lot of fun, and I've been thinking about it for a long time. I just need to make that happen. But yeah, I definitely do plan on venturing out, but at the same time, like, I absolutely love making YouTube videos, and I don't see myself ever like voluntarily being like, I'm done making YouTube videos, I don't ever want to do this again. Hey John, what would you tell all those people that are gaining weight and losing perspective of a healthy body and healthy life for whatever reason this may be? Now, this is kind of a tough question, because especially when people just start gaining weight, or if they, you know, they've been slim their whole life, and especially like people, you know, slim in high school, and then because they were playing sports and stuff, and then they get out of high school and they start gaining weight. This is really, really tough. Like, it's a tough conversation to have, because honestly, most of the time when people start gaining weight, they're in denial, and it's hard to really talk to somebody that's kind of dealing with that. The reason I say that is because for me, when I was overweight and my mom would try and bring it up, or anybody would bring it up, I would just shut down, and I wouldn't hear what they were saying. I would just feel like they were attacking me. So it's really hard to have a conversation with somebody that's not ready to have that conversation. So if someone's just starting to gain weight and they're not bringing it up to you, they're not saying like, oh man, I'm gaining weight, like I need to change this. If they're just like gaining weight and not really talking about it much, it's probably because they probably are internally struggling with it, but they're not ready to speak to somebody about it. And a lot of times, and I know this isn't the best answer, but a lot of times, like, you trying to talk to them about it will only push them further back and push them further away from you. So it really is like a gentle thing. Just kind of, you know, feel it out, but don't be overly aggressive in trying to help, because I know personally when people would be overly aggressive and try to help me, I would just push them away to a point where I wouldn't talk to them anymore. So you have to be really careful. It's definitely a balancing act that you kind of have to play with that. But there you guys go. That is going to be the video. I just want to say thank you all so much for all the questions. Like, I love that there was so many different types of questions, not just about weight loss and loose skin and stuff like that. It was you know, there's tons of stuff that I could talk about, and I really, really enjoyed that. So again, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I do want to say, if you got to this point, the day that you're watching this video, I am actually doing a competition, my first ever like real CrossFit competition with my brother and my roommate, and I'm sure, hopefully I'm having a great time. But yeah, I'm really, really excited about that. But again, thank you so much for watching the video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. There was one other thing that I wanted to say. Oh yeah, look how buff I am.